having conversation, me and you, and I ask you, do you want to 10x your goals this year? If your answer is yes, welcome. Let's have a conversation. Because I recorded how I plan my business year, how I align the goals, and how I make sure that there's a balance between everything I want to do, who I want to become, and then pushing myself to be the best version of who I can be as a leader, as a founder, and also in my personal life. Okay, so you might be wondering, why am I looking at photos of you in the snow, building snowmen and things like that? Are we talking about goals? Yes, but let me back up a little bit here. I have always wanted and desired to find a way to merge my personal life and my business. I don't want to be two separate people. I want to be able to build my dreams, build my business, and also build my family. So as a personal decision, I went to have a business planning year with my team. What I decided to do was add a couple days before that to spend time with my husband and daughter. So we went to Park City, Utah before the team arrived. And so I did this because mostly for one main thing. My daughter has never seen it snow. Yes, she's 4 years old, and she's not even never seen it snow. She's never seen the snow. I know, born and raised in Southern California, so snow is a big thing. So she's been asking us, can I build a snowman? And you wanna know what? Anna, Elsa, and Princess Luna were gonna build a snowman, and that's exactly what we did. So we spent some time just deep diving, family time, relaxation, and enjoying the moment before I got into business mode. A couple days into the trip, our COO, her name is Jade, and the president of Social Curator, her name is Katie, flew to Park City and met us there at the Montage Deer Valley. So we're in the lobby, we're waiting for Katie and Jade. They should be arriving any minute now. We're gonna spend the next 2 days going through all of the details for 2025, and I'm very excited. They play a really integral part in the business because as COO, Jade has purview of every single one of our businesses and our projects and our revenue streams. She is literally the most analytical person I've ever met in my life, only ever thinking about systems, logistics, plans. And so having her to be in a yearly planning meeting is a very big part of the strategic perspective, because as I sit as an advisor to other businesses, she's also seeing the picture from an entirely different perspective. Katie is very unique in that she is the president of Social Curator, but Katie has been on the team, goodness, now 5 years. And so she has seen every aspect of the business. And the beautiful thing about Katie is that she sits right in between my vision, content, experimentation, getting out and getting messy, to Jade's other end, organized systems, operations. Katie sits right in the middle. She's so systems oriented, but she can immediately see opportunities, humanizing of projects and approaches. And so Katie sits very much as my right hand when it comes to thinking and ideating for personal touches to everything I do. I wanted to be in the room because I was like, I see our funnels and I see opportunities and I see a pathway. And about an hour into this, Katie kept on asking a series of questions. And I'm like, just Katie, trust the process. Trust the process. And Jade was sitting like this, quiet in her chair. And I was like, no, I'm gonna take this flow. This is the flow, this is the flow. And about an hour into it, she had said, I don't think this is going to work because what you want us to do as a team and what you want a user to do is jump over a pretty significant gap. She's like, so my proposition is we build a short ladder, option one. My second option is that we have a ladder that leads to something that has yet to be built, so we bridge the gap in the customer journey and then get ultimately to where we want to go. She's like, so you just tell me what conversation we're having, because I cannot just assume that everybody's gonna jump over and we're gonna get the results without filling the gap. Ooh. And you wanna know what? I freaking love that. I need people to poke holes. I need people to push. I need people to challenge. And it was there. An hour into how we know we've won is we have all of this, is I was like, oh gosh. Okay, I'm not here to build short ladders. I am here to build an empire. I'm here to build a structure. I am here to do something big. And if you're saying that there is a gap, and guess what? I agree there's a gap. We got to address the gap far before we can ever get to scale. Period, the end. And so I said, okay, this is absolutely a big shift in what it is we're doing. So now we're going to ideate and we're going to prioritize. I am not prioritizing getting the result that I want. This year in 2025, I am prioritizing the pieces that we need in the flywheel to get us the results that we want. So what's your first step in planning your business year? If you have a team or if you don't have a team, it would be ruthlessly set your focus. I actually recently read an article about Warren Buffett, and he refers to this as the 25-5 methodology. Let's break this down real quick. Sit down with a piece of paper, and this is what I asked Katie and Jade to do prior to us going to Park City. Is I had said, I want you to list everything you think we need to do in the business. Like, I am talking about a complete brain dump. How are we going to be set up to scale beyond what we had anticipated? How do we have a breakout year? We know how we can scale, but how do we blow our own dang minds? I want you to brain dump everything that needs to be addressed. And then what I want you to do is, of that 20 to 25 things, Warren Buffett says list 25 things, most people won't get to 25. We think there's more than 25, but studies show by the time you actually brain up, you're sitting somewhere between 10 and 15 things that need to get done for you to hit your goals. Okay, he says list out 25 things that you need to do. Then mark your top 5. And once you mark your top 5, everything else on the list is do not touch. This is your do not touch it. These are amazing. They're needed. They're powerful. You're not going to touch it. You're going to focus on the 5 top initiatives. So when I went into the room and I was like, you guys, this is our top initiative. I can do all these 5 things. We can do all these 5 things, but the number one thing is like, we got to get this like funnel thing up and going. We got to revamp it. I see it. It's crystal clear. And it was, and it is. But the issue in my funnel really fundamentally went down to there's a gap. And if there is a gap, the funnel doesn't work. So of our top 5 initiatives, I had to reorder the top 5, as did they. So now let's make this all about you. I want you to take Warren Buffett's advice. Don't listen to your homegirl. Like Warren Buffett, that man knows what he's doing. List your top 25 things that you need to get done this year. Just go, let your brain go. So now let's focus on your top 5. What do you do next? Once you've prioritized, each one has to have a system. Each one of them has to have a flow. There is an order of operations. You can't simply say, now let's use this in an example that we can all kind of understand. Let's say you want to lose weight, right? The same process that I would take to lose weight is the exact same process that I would take when it comes to a business project. I actually have to have an order of operations. I can't say, I want to lose weight, so tomorrow I'm going to run 25 miles. No, not at all. There is an order of operations. I'm going to have to learn how to run a slow pace and a short run. And then I'm going to start realizing I'm going to have to start eating differently because I'm burning more calories. And then I'm actually going to have to plan for how I'm eating. And then I actually have to plan for the time that I'm working out. And then I have to plan for how I'm going to offset muscle deterioration from running by muscle building, right? There's an order of operation. Now, once you have your top 5 business goals laid out and you've prioritized them 1 through 5, the beauty about this is that you just have to build a system. But once you've built a system for one, there's a very good chance that that system looks pretty similar, not exactly the same, but similar for projects 2, 3, 4, and 5. So first things first, you prioritize your top objective. And let's say your top objective is to say, I need to build lead flow. I actually need to get people into my business. Great, well, there's an order of operations. What are all the things that you need to do? Now you just brain dump again. What are all the things that you need to do to get more leads? Do you need to start creating content consistently? Do you need to start networking? Do you need to start running paid ads? Do you need to get a sales team? Do you need to get a setter? Like, list it all down. Now, here's the thing. You're not gonna hire a setter before you start running your ads, right? Because in the setter, without any ads or deal flow, is not gonna do anything. So the order of operations is what needs to happen first in order for me to achieve my goal. So you have project number 1, your main focus. You list everything you need to do. Then you go back and say the order of operation is this. Then you start at number 1 of the order of operation and you start doing that. And then you go to step 2 of project 1 and you do that. I think that what happens is when I talk about this, I say a lot of, oh, this is what you should do and this is how it has to be done. Number 1, this is just a suggestion. But number 2, it is a suggestion that is really anchored in me doing it the wrong way and losing a lot of time and just spinning my wheels, feeling like I wasn't going anywhere. And if you feel very overwhelmed at the thought of saying, wait, I need 5 goals, no, strip it all away. In fact, if you can strip all of your goals away and focus on one thing, you win. When people say, oh, I'm focusing on my goals this year, and I'm like, oh, wait, tell me what your goals. And they're like, okay, and then I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Great. If I asked you to focus on 10 things at once, each would have 10% of your focus, right? 10% of focus over 10 things is 100% of your focus. If you're like, I have 10 goals this year, and I'm like, great, well, your focus is on 10% on each of them. If you were to tell me that, no, Jasmine, I only have 5 goals, well, great, that's incredible. Now you're focusing 20% on each of your goals. But if you tell me, Jasmine, I feel so overwhelmed, you're just talking too much. This is like, I have a hard time just staying consistent in goals. Give me one, baby. You focus all of your attention on one goal, you will be unstoppable as long as you don't stop. If you focus on one goal, you will be unstoppable if you don't stop. So here right now, with all this advice, this is simply honing your focus and prioritizing and ruthlessly saying, here's an order of operations. Now I just need to do. Okay. Let's talk about what I'm really excited about, because they're like, what I'm excited and what I'm nervous about, they're related, okay? Like they're related. What I'm excited and nervous about are like really related. And I'm excited for a new offer. And I'm specifically excited because it's something that we have been using and testing behind the scenes, and I love it. It's not for the faint of heart. And I really love that we're creating an offer for a business owner who has either really big ambitions or has a strong business and really wants to scale it. It's like the first step in scaling. So, okay, let's get down into the nitty gritty. As an entrepreneur, I have a product suite. I have different ways for people to invest in what it is that I provide. Now, outside of the product suite, I sit as an advisor to other companies, and myself, my co-founder, my husband, JD, we invest in other companies. So that's outside. But when I look at the product suite, that is things that I provide for people to buy, well, people come in by a free resource on a PDF, they come in by way of the podcast, they come in by way of YouTube, and I just want to build trust and I want to build. And then we also have an offer for $59 a month called Social Curator. That's on the lower end ticket. And then on the highest end ticket, we have a mastermind for $30,000 for 7-figure entrepreneurs. And so all of a sudden, we've noticed that even though we have other courses, like your biggest launch ever is $2,500, and then we have other courses that are within the $100 range, we realize that there is a gap in the person who's not necessarily beginning with a small team. There is somebody here in the middle who wants to have a closer connection, higher touch points, to be able to network with other people in that space, to be able to up-level their like digital prowess, their marketing prowess, to how they're making an offer, how they're leveraging their resources. And so in my mind, I'm saying, this is the thing I'm most excited about, and it makes me the most nervous because we've never offered it. So not only are we making a new offer, we're offering it in a new way, and we're making public what we have been doing behind the scenes. So that's a very long answer, but it's very detailed, and I just want to put it all out there. A big thing I was very excited to talk about was reframing, redoing, revamping our core values. And so core values for an organization are entirely important because it becomes the benchmark in how you guide your team, but also the benchmark of how you improve or really hold your team in alignment. This is what you are about as an organization. And when we had created our core values 5 years ago, I realized that in the last 5 years, our organization, not just the business, the entire organization has entirely changed. I have expanded and I'm doing a lot of different things. So we needed a set of core values that was a part for our holding company. Like, who are we about as a holding company? All the people in each respective arm of the business are pointing to company core values. And it took us a while, and I just knew that in the past I had 5 core values, and I felt like it was too much, they were too hard to remember, and they felt very unattached. And so I sat with our COO and I sat with the president and social curator, who also sits on different arms of the business, and I said, we need to define who we are as an organization. And this is how we know all of us are running in the right direction. This is our benchmark. So when you sit with a team member and you run your team members' performance against our core values, they have to hold true every step of the way. And our first core value is own it. We are a team of ninjas. We are a team of excellence. We run at an entirely different pace. And because of that, there is not room or space for anybody to say, like, Oh, I thought she did. I thought he said. No. Owning it means that whenever you are assigned an entire project, a part of a flow, or even a singular task, I want you to own everything, middle, beginning, and end. It starts and it ends with you. If something or someone in your team did not have a deadline, you are owning it. And because you own it, if you see a teammate who's not going to complete on time, if you see a teammate who's slacking, if you see somebody who's in a hard spot, you go in and you say, what do I need to do so that together we get to the end point, so at the end of the day, we own it. It begins and ends with you as you own it. The second core value is play to win. We are really focusing on how might we become Olympic athletes within our organization. So when we ask ourselves, how does an Olympic athlete train? How does an Olympic athlete perform? What sacrifices are they making? What diligence, what consistency are they making? So we want to say, as a team, there is competitive greatness within us. Anything we set out to do is we are going to win. But here's the thing, winning looks different for everybody. As an organization, it's our job to define what winning looks like, and we play to win. We do not mess around. The last core value is extraordinary is our baseline. As a side note, just speaking very candidly, and I take zero credit for this, in all of 2024, the thing I heard the most when it came to the team, when it came to the podcast production team, when it came to the content team, when it came to the marketing team, when it came to our customer success, I'm talking about all the teams. The thing that I heard from people who were paying customers and not, they said, your team is excellent. And that was the word we heard again and again and again. And with deep humility, I say thank you on their behalf because they are incredible. But I didn't want excellent to be our core value because for some reason, excellent doesn't resonate. It's kind of like, how do we define that? How do we own that? And so we changed with this idea of what we were told, your team is excellent, to extraordinary is our baseline. Extraordinary means that you are marked with a distinct difference. You do things better, different, and go the extra mile. So that when people invest to come to a live event, when they invest in one of our offerings, when I sit as an advisor and our team is facilitating me sitting on those boards and speaking into that growth plan, that they say, that team is extraordinary. And guess what? Internally, extraordinary is our baseline. That is where we get started. So if you do not show up extraordinarily, if you do not work extraordinarily, if you do not behave extraordinarily, this is not the place for you. And that feels really big to say, and it feels scary to say, and it also feels the best to absolutely say. Do you have a core value? If it's just like a core value for you, like your own personal core value, or do you have a core value for your team? I would love to hear from you. I want to see in the comments what that is. I'd like to know that together we're making changes that make us a little bit uncomfortable, but at the same time make us a lot better. And reminder, it's not a race. You're not on anybody else's timeline than your own. If it takes you 1 day, 1 month, if it takes you 1 year, if it takes you 10 years for you to build this, that's your timeline, and it was the right timeline. You know, after sitting a few days with the team and ideating, and it's bittersweet. It's always bittersweet to look at how far you want to go and where you currently are. And all of the work that is ahead of you. I will tell you that I couldn't sleep. On the last day that we were there in Park City, I had a hard time sleeping. My mind was going, I was excited, but I was also very nervous. So I woke up very early. It was only 5 a.m. in the morning, and I went down to the lobby and I sat by the fire and I just started writing. What's going on in your head? What are your intentions? What's coming up for you? And so then when I met again with Katie and Jade and we were in the room, I said, I woke up this morning and this is what came up for me. What came up for you? It opened us up to have a very honest conversation around the worries, our concerns, our excitement, and our hope. Then we're all on the same page. And that night, it was just kind of crazy. I believe that everything is in perfect timing. I told you that I went to Park City and I had never been in the snow. We didn't pack the right clothes. We didn't pack the right things. We looked like hot messes. We looked like tourists, and I didn't care. But I knew that I was actually very unprepared to be there in the experience sense. And somebody I once heard on a podcast that the way that you end a trip is how you remember a trip. And so I went down to the concierge at Montage Deer Valley and I said, so we don't snowboard, we don't ski, we like good food, but like I feel like we need to do something. And she said, Miss Star. Now here's the thing. In public, I'm Miss Star. I don't really talk about my legal last name because that's like for friends and family to use. Like you, when you know my last name, you know we think it's thieves. So she said, Miss Star, we have an opening for a sleigh. And I said, you mean like Santa's sleigh? She's like, horses and bells and the whole nine. I said, I need that sleigh. I need that sleigh more than I need anything right now. And she's like, we booked you a sleigh. You will be dropped off in front of one of the best restaurants in Park City. I said, that's exactly what we need to do. So at the end of the day, I surprised Luna, JD, Katie, and Jade. I said, we're going on a sleigh ride because we slayed the event. Hey, did you see that? Like mom jokes, y'all. Like we slayed, y'all. Anyway, I told Luna that this sleigh was gonna take us to Santa if she was a good girl. I mean, you guys, I was like winning on all fronts. I was bribing my daughter. We got the team excited. So we got on and we covered ourselves in blankets and we slayed through Park City, and it was one of the most beautiful experiences ever. And we toasted at the end of the night. We got real about who we were as people. We got real about who we were as a team. And we got really real about what we wanted to accomplish together. What a gift. Thank you for watching this vlog. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me this space. More than anything, I am a firm believer in documenting the process, because one day I will look back and I will say, Jasmine, thank you for doing the work. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for pushing through, having honest conversations. You're not gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. It's been a couple hard years. Some of the best, most successful years, and they've been very, very, very hard. And so I think that I'm making this vlog to be like, damn girl, you still in it? Like you're coming back for more? And the answer is yes, I'm coming back for more, and I'm coming back so freaking ready. Like I'm ready to build again, and it feels scary, and it feels good, and it feels exciting, and I'm gonna do it differently. I've realized I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm gonna build differently. And this time, I'm gonna build in flow. And this time, I'm gonna build it with people who have a whole new set of core values, and we're playing a different game at a different level. And it makes me excited and nervous to say it, but I'm just really happy that it's being documented. So, we're back. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on the journey. I really appreciate it. No, we're not back.